Hello friends, welcome to the first video of Java online course. Okay, we'll be starting with the theoretical concepts from today regarding the Java programming. In this video, in first presentation, I'll be sharing some basic things about the Java programming that you need to know while learning the practical based approach also. Basically, Java is a simple and one of the most popular programming language in the world. How it is structured, what are the features that it has, what are the application that it's having, that all things that we'll discuss in this video. First, let's focus on the first topic, that is what type of computer languages we have. See, the computer languages, we are having two different kind of languages here: imperative languages and declarative languages. Imperative languages contain the programming language statements. They are executed either by a compiler or the interpreter. So in imperative languages, we have procedure oriented language like C, object based language like ADA, object oriented where the concept of object is there. They are contained C++ and Java, and block structured language as Pascal. Okay, they are written in the program format almost all and got executed at a time. Declarative languages like Prolog, Lisp or SQL, they are having only statements declared, and with the help of that we'll be getting output line by line, and not specifically created as a general purpose language. They are the special purpose languages. Okay, so Java is coming under this category here. Object oriented language and imperative language is there. Object oriented language contains the common concept called as object. Okay, let's understand that first, and then from next video onwards we'll be doing the things practically. Okay, so in general, there are two different ways of programming are available. First is procedure oriented programming, and second is object oriented programming. Procedure means function. Now we have a function like main program. In that, a function A is there, it's connected to function D, is connected to function F, or C is connected to E. Like functions are present. Function is a block of statement. It will be called by its name, function's name. And like we have a main function, and main function calls all other functions. So generally C is coming under this category. C only contain the functions, and one function calls other functions and then get it task done. So procedure-oriented programming is completely based on the procedures or the functions as shown in the diagram here. The second way of programming is called as object oriented programming. Okay, basically see almost all kind of languages that we see today's generation, they are coming under this category, that is object oriented programming. We have an object, and inside that functions are there, and functions will contain the shared data. Let's focus in detail about it. What is object oriented programming? Object oriented programming, or OOP, is a programming paradigm which provides a means of structuring programs so that properties and behaviors are bundled into the individual objects. For instance, an object could represent a person with a name, property, age and address. Okay, just consider example. If person is an object, so it contains properties and behavior. Two things are there: property, attributes, and behavior. Okay, property like age or address are present, name is present, or they contain behavior like the person used to walk, walking, talking, breathing, running. Or an email, if consider email is the object, so it contains properties like recipients list, object, subject, body, etc., and the behaviors like adding, attachments and sending. Okay, so these things are available here which will define your objects. Object contains properties plus its behaviors that we call as the methods or functions. Now, put another way, OOP is an approach for modeling a concrete real world things like cars. Like I want to create a car, so I can create an object of car and I'll define the properties, behaviors. Or like employees or companies, students, teachers, like everything we can create in the form of an object and its properties and behavior that will define. Based on that, this object will be created and will be used further in the programming. Okay, OOP models real world entities as software objects which have some data associated with them and can perform the functions. So data and functions, these are two things that an object is available inside it. Okay, let's focus with an example how this object is actually created. Before starting with the object, we need to understand the concept of class. Every Java program contains a class, but what do you mean by a class? So class are called as user defined data type. The programmer creates that. We define how the class should look like. it contains an arbitrary information about something. In case of a car, if I create a class car like this, so it contains two things. Okay, you'll have the car with attributes like properties that we call fuel, max speed, or any other like color of the car, weight of the car, average of the car, like this. This can be there. That car will contain attributes. Every properties that the class contains, they are present. Along with it, it contains the methods. Method means the functions, the behavior or the action that particular class will contains. Okay, these are like refuel, get fuel, set speed, get speed, drive. Okay, so all these are the functions or the methods that I can perform on this car. So this is just a template. So this template we called as a class, and when this template is converted, it's created inside the computer's memory, its instance is created, then it is called as object. So while the class is the blueprint and instance of the class is actual values, literally an object will be created. Okay, so put another way, class is a form or a questionnaire. So form is given. For example, I am giving a form to everyone, 10 persons. So everyone contains the same form, but the information that they fill inside the form is different. Okay, so form is a class, and information, once the information is put inside it, and every form having different information in this, so that filled information form is called as an object. Okay, so after you fill out the form, your specific copy of instance of the class is created. Means a separate 10 instances of that form are created. But what's the difference in that? Their attributes are same, but the value or data or information that you put inside it is different. So information is different, that's called object, and behavior, common properties are defined with the help of a class. So class is the skeleton template of the object, and object is instance or variable of type class. Okay, so class is not allocated with any memory, but object is having the memory allocated to it. Now okay, let's carry forward our example of the car. So let's look at that. Class, okay, car contains it. We have seen methods and property that it contains. And when you create the object, so I will create first object as a polo car, second is a mini car, third is a beetle car. Now polo car will contain different properties, mini car will contain different properties, beetle car will contain different properties, and the functions, method that are present inside will be applied to this. Here the method will be applied to this method will be applied to this particular variables or the values or attributes or properties, okay, which we define inside a particular class. Okay, so in this way we can define the difference between class and objects. So this class and objects form the basis, the core of object oriented programming using Java. Okay, so when we see the things practically, that time we'll come across the concept of creating the classes and objects with the help of the Java programming language here. Now what are the common features that the object oriented programming is having? The first is reduction in the complexity. POP contains so much complex codes, so that complexity we can reduce with the help of OOP. Second part is importance is data, emphasis is given on data. Okay, so objects are common, as we have seen already. The structure is common, but data defines the difference among the objects. That's what we call as importance is given to the data. Creation of new data structure. So class is created by user. You define the name of the class, you define the name of the methods, we define the name of attributes and properties. That's why it's a new data structure created. Data hiding. So what properties that it contains, we can hide the data from the external world. So that data hiding is present. That also we can see practically how the data is hidden from the external world. That also we'll see. Okay, characterization of object. We can characterize the object, means we can define your own property to the object. Even we can communicate with the objects. Among one object can transfer data to second object, that object can receive data from another object, like sending messages, receiving messages can be done with the help of some methods that we define for communication between or among the objects. Extensibility. Extensibility means we can extend the property of one object or one class into another class. We can reuse that. It means that we don't need to declare the things which one class contains. We can reuse them in another class also. This property generally we term as inheritance. That also we'll see practically. And the last one is bottom up programming approach. The bottom up programming approach is just like once the program is compiled. Okay, those you are knowing the C programming language, remember C programming language got executed by top down approach. So you need to write the things sequentially in the main, but the things which are declared after the main or after the main function or method that are not available with the programming language. Okay, so it's structuring from line by line approach. But in OP like Java, you can declare anything anywhere inside the class. The class declared below is also known to up, and class declared up are also known to below. So everywhere it's provided. It's called as bottom up approach. With the help of this approach, the programs in the Java programming language got executed. These are the common features that the Java programming language or basically object oriented programming languages are having. What are the concepts? There are 6 different concepts that every OOP language contains, including Java also. We have seen the class and object. So class defines the template or skeleton of the object. It means it contains the names of properties and names of the behavior like methods are present inside the class, and when we have to actually allocate the memory or values to this particular attributes, properties or methods, then object is created. So object is the variable of type class. Okay, now data hiding, abstraction, encapsulation. So different developers, different books authors uses different names, but their intention is common. Hiding is equal to abstraction almost equal to encapsulation. It means that the data declared inside the class or object cannot be extended or used outside of the class. So it is hidden from the external world. So this is one of the main property that it contains. Then inheritance. Inheritance means reuse. One class, one properties of the class, one methods of the class can be reused in another class by this method. It's called as inheritance. It's just like behavior or the properties that the father contains are available in son also. It's called as inheritance. Okay, so by inherited mechanism, these properties are available in the next class also. Polymorphism. Polymorphism means one name, many forms. Same name I can reuse to perform different kind of operations. It's called as polymorphism. Okay, so polymorphism can be achieved by using the same name for different operation. That also we'll see practically. And dynamic binding. Dynamic binding is just like performing operations at runtime. Means when program is getting executed, that time we are going to decide the operation. That also we'll see practically. So basically dynamic binding is one sort of polymorphism created in Java programming language. So these are all concepts we'll see practically in upcoming video lectures. But try to remember what do you mean by the common properties or features that object oriented programming language is containing. Okay, so let's continue with Java. So Java programming language is created by Sun Microsystem engineers in 1990s. It has taken almost 6 months to complete that. They're led by all around team leader James Gosling. Then team members are Patrick Norton, Chris Watt, Ed Frank and Mike Sheridan. They wanted to design a small computer programming language that could be used for consumer devices like cable, TV, switch boxes or any platform. Since these devices do not have a lot of power or memory, the language had to be small and generate very tight code. They gave the code name to this particular project as Project Green. Make sure that Java has taken most of the programming concepts from C programming language and object oriented programming concepts from C++. So if you are knowing C and C++, 50% task of understanding this language is easy. But if you don't know, so don't worry about it. We are going to see all the programming concepts from the scratch by using this programming language here in it. Look at these two logos. You can find these logos at multiple positions across the globe in the softwares, Java based softwares, in Java books or in Java tutorials, blogs around the internet. So for this is the logo of Java logo. Okay, and this is Java's mascot. Okay, so these are used to signify it is Java based applications. You might have seen this logo at the start of this presentation also. Okay, now what are the features that Java programming language, especially Java programming language, is containing? There are 13 features are extracted, so we are going to make use of these features also practically, but let's understand what do you mean by these particular features. Okay, so first feature is simplicity. So Java is simple to understand and learn. Initially it may seem somewhat difficult, but don't worry about it. Practice makes man's perfect. So it's very easy to understand, and if you are knowing C++, it is too much easy to understand. Second is object oriented. We have seen these features: object oriented, class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, data hiding. These common 5 features are available here in Java programming language also. So it is 100% and strictly object oriented language. Make sure C++ is partially OOP, Java is 100% OOP. Everything we need to write inside the class. Okay, platform independence. Platform independence refers to platform means basically operating system. So irrespective of operating system, your program will not change or will not generate a different output there. Okay, so remember, on any platform, whether you use Windows, Linux, or Apple Mac OS, or if you use Android, then also your program will not change in the same way we have to write the program there. So here in this system, I'm using Ubuntu Linux operating system to perform. You can use Windows OS also, but your output will not change. So it is platform independence. Portable. Portable means you can easily copy program from one system to another system, but there's a difference. Portable means though you change your operating system, your output will also not change. Okay, that is what portability is. Though if you change your hardware, then also your output will not change. That is portable. Then compile and interpreter. Compile and interpreter. So make sure there are 2 different system tools available in computer to perform this operation: compilation and interpretation. Compiler and interpreter. Compiler checks the compiler is a special type of software which is used to check the whole program of a programming language, check for the errors. If errors are there, it will show you the errors. You have to rectify the errors and then create an error free program and then convert it into system understandable language. This operation is done by the compiler. Second part, interpreter. Interpreter is a special type of system program again, which is used to execute the program line by line. At a time, interpreter will show you the single error. Just like Python. Python programming language contains the interpreter and C++ contain the compiler. Now, if we consider the Java programming language contains compiler also, interpreter also. Compiler will read the data from the Java program, converts it into machine understandable code like .class file, and interpreter will execute that. Okay, so this is one of the language in the world which contains compiler also and interpreter also. Robust. Robust literal meaning is healthy. Okay, Java is healthy programming language. It means that Java programs and statement does not allow you to do anything wrong. That is healthy. Okay, in practical also I'll show you what do you mean by this robust concept. It does not allow you to do anything wrong. What are the disadvantages that C programming languages containing? They are overcome with the help of Java to make it more robust than any other programming language. Next is secure. So basically Java is prime applications of Java today are web based. So when you are to design the web based applications, that time we are going to make use of Java programming language and its advanced Java features. Secure. Java programs are considered as secure because it does not allow to do any system programming operations there. It can't handle directly the system programs. Okay, just like C is a system programming language. Okay, so Java is secure. It does not contains the concept like pointers also, so that we can't intrude anywhere in the systems. Viruses kind of concepts can't be created by using Java programming language. That's why it is considered as secure. Distributed. Distributed means programs can work on network systems also. Okay, if you are knowing about the computer network, the program which are used to perform operations on networking, they are termed, or they are created with the help of some rules called as protocols. These protocols are having 100% support in Java programming language. So any networking applications also can be easily created using Java programming language. Now let's go for ninth feature, multi-threaded. Okay, you might have heard about multitasking. At a time, your computer system can handle multiple different processes, but under the process also we are having small different processes running. They are called as multi-threading. Multi-threads. Thread is a small part of the program. This threading is possible in Java programming language. This is possible in C also, C++ also, in Java also. Okay, so basically multi-threading is used to improve the speed of processing and to do multiple tasks concurrently on the system. This also we'll see practically what do you mean by multi-threading and how to go with this. Then high performance. Performance written in Java programming language are very high. They can be easily accessed with highest amount of speed through the network, through the web, through the internet also. That's what high performance means. Architectural neutral. Architectural neutral is just same as platform independence, but platform independence refers to software based applications. Architectural neutral represent to hardware based applications. It means that whatever hardware we use, whatever microprocessor you use, whatever architecture of hardware you use, it doesn't matter, your Java program will not generate a different output. It is not depending upon hardware also, just like software. Okay, so that is what we call as architectural neutral. Whether you use 32-bit system, 64-bit system, whether you use Intel's processor or AMD's processor, it doesn't matter, your output will not get changed for this case. Okay, and 12 number feature is dynamic. Dynamic, it means that when if you want to make use of or reuse the particular features. For example, one project I have created, and that project's concepts, its classes, I need to reuse in another project. I just need to add that project in my new project, and I can reuse that previous features, previous classes in my new project also. That is what we call a dynamic. Dynamically, we can add extra classes, extra interfaces, extra variables in the program. With the help of this, your program can be a dynamic program. And last feature, that is extensible. Now this is very important feature that Java is having. Extensibility means I can communicate with C++ program with Java also. With the help of some concept like Java native interfaces, it is possible to add or to connect any C or C++ program with the Java program. That's what we call as extensibility. So this is also one of the feature, one of the most important feature the Java programming language is having. Okay, so these are 13 different features by which the Java can be easily understood, and it has made Java one of the most popular programming languages in the world. Now as you started progressing with the practical based approach, we'll see, we'll elaborate, we'll illustrate this particular features of Java programming language in detail also. Okay, let's come with the last slide of this particular video. Why Java? Now look at the diagram mentioned over here. C is concepts, C++ concepts, and Java contain its own concepts also. Now C's concepts are almost common in all programming languages, like data types, variables, constants, keywords, expressions, like all they are there in C++ also, because C is called a subset of C++. C++ is having its own features like object-oriented programming, like class, objects, data hiding, inheritance, polymorphism. All they are available here in Java programming language also. Plus Java also contains its own features. It's like just like interfaces concepts, or we are going to make use of generics concepts, or you are going to make use of some advanced level library concept that Java is having, like wrapper classes. Okay, like all Java contains own concepts also. So one thing I'll make sure that if you're knowing C++ and C, your 50% task of learning Java is almost done. It's just implemented in some different way. See, many disadvantages that C++ and C is having, they are also not there in Java programming language. They are removed, and Java has made as one of the most robust programming language in the world. Okay, so this is what exactly the concepts of object-oriented programming and the Java programmings are. From the next video onwards, we'll start working with the practical based approach using Java programming language. Okay, till then, goodbye, happy learning, thank you.